I've learned to live with them by now. It's not much different from how things were before they came. I still have my routine. I still wake up at 6 a.m. And I most certainly still drag my feet to work every morning. All of us do. There's no alternative. When they first arrived, we at least had the decency to fear them. Quiet chatter at the water cooler and careful whispers in the hallway carried our unease. There was a shared anxiety, a collective tension, because we knew nothing. What are they? What do they want? Why are they not doing anything? Our little town quickly developed a system. At first, we communicated their whereabouts through hand-drawn maps and word of mouth. Soon, Facebook groups sprang up dedicated to this very purpose. And now, thanks to some local software engineers, we even have an app documenting the locations and behaviors of unwanted visitors. There's an app for that. Regarding these creatures, our knowledge is lacking, to say the least. But we learned a few things. 1. They come in the night. From where? We don't know. There have been sightings of them crawling out of drain wells, jumping from rooftops, and somehow squeezing themselves out of pipes. However, I can't confirm any of these firsthand. I've never seen them move. 2. Once they find a spot, they seem to return to it every night. It's almost as if they enjoy things. Of course, this makes it easier to document their locations, but it has its drawbacks too. For example, our next door neighbors have a window in their bedroom that faces the complex courtyard. One of them took a liking to that very spot. Imagine trying to get ready for bed every night while one of those things stares at you with its small, black, beady eyes. Needless to say, our neighbors haven't opened their blinds in a year. 3. The only thing they do is observe. If you encounter one, it won't move, it won't touch, threaten, or harm you, but it will watch you. As for why, we still have no idea. 4. They seem to be local to our town. I haven't heard any sightings anywhere else, and the only channel that covers them is our local news. The police department is aware of them, but they're the only authority that even acknowledges their existence. We've tried contacting every government agency imaginable, the FBI, CIA, Homeland Security, but no one has done anything. Apart from silencing those who try to go public, we're on our own. That's the extent of what we know. As you might imagine, many theories have emerged. Most of them are biblical in nature or resemble fairy tales. Punishment for our sins, the rapture, that sort of thing. The most interesting theory I've heard suggests that they were once normal humans, sent by a foreign power to intimidate and destabilize us. But if you've ever seen one, you know immediately that they are not human. I still remember my first encounter. The first encounter anyone ever had. It was a foggy Thursday night, just past midnight. I'd stayed late at the office, finishing up a report that wasn't due for another week, but anything to avoid the silence of my apartment. The streets were deserted as I walked home, the dim glow of streetlights failing to cut through this mist. That's when I saw it. At first, I thought it was a person. A shadow slouched against the wall of the laundromat. But as I got closer, my steps faltered. It was taller than a person should be, and possibly thin, like someone had stretched it. Its limbs were too long, dangling in strange angles as it hunched forward. It didn't seem to have a face, not really. Just smooth, pale skin that shimmered in the light. And then there were the eyes. 2 small black beads, unmoving, unblinking, fixed directly on me. I froze, clutching my bag so tightly with my knuckles turned white. It didn't move. It didn't make a sound. It just watched. I try to tell myself that it wasn't real, that I was imagining things, that I was overtired, but the weight of its gaze was undeniable. Like a heavy, oppressive presence pressing down on me. My heart thundered in my chest. I took a step backward, then another. Its head tilted, ever so slightly, as if studying me. I couldn't stand it anymore. I turned around and bolted, sprinting the rest of the way home without looking back. I slammed my door shut, locked it, and collapsed against it, gasping for breath. That night, I didn't sleep. I sat on the couch with all the lights on, waiting for morning. I kept telling myself I wouldn't go outside again. Not alone, not at night. But life has a way of making you adapt. Bills pile up, groceries run low, and work doesn't wait for fear. So I learned to live with them. We all did. Now I see them often, sometimes on my morning walk, standing silently in the alleyways or perched on the rooftops, sometimes in the park, leaning against a tree as couples stroll by, oblivious. I've even seen one sitting on a swing in the children's playground, its long legs folded awkwardly, the chains creaking softly under its weight. But it's not just their presence that unnerves me. It's the feeling that they know something we don't. That their endless watching isn't idle curiosity, but something deliberate, something calculated. Sometimes I wonder if we'll ever know what they want, or if we're better off not knowing at all.